a stiff drink, dude.
It's pretty stiff. I needed it for this fucking movie.
Oh my god. Oh.
But yeah, dude, we're back. And this time we're rewriting the classic film, Old.
Wow. Do you believe I found this online?
I guess it's not that secret a beast.
Whoa! Who would leave this? From the hotel! They're so rusted!
What's happening?
Found stuff from the hotel in the sand.
Tell me a little bit about when was the first time you watched it?
I think I watched it almost like 2 days after. I didn't go to a theater. Like, not going to a theater for that one. But I saw it, I think, like, either the day it came out or 2 days, because I was excited for it. I was like, I was probably too excited for it. How about you? When did you see it?
I saw it in September 2021 in Mexico. And it was, I remember my friend telling me, dude, you gotta watch this. My friend Gastone, he was like, it's hilarious. And I was also excited to see that. I mean, two things about it. I'm pretty sure it was a COVID movie. So it came out during COVID when no movies were coming out. And I remember the poster was actually kind of interesting. It was like an old lady's like feet, and like she pulled her foot shot. She pulled her like foot away, and there's like bones sticking out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yeah, it had so much potential, man.
Yeah. Did it have potential?
But before we get to that, I guess it had all the recent Shyamalanisms. Like really awkward dialogue, which I fucking love. It's so fun. It just, none of it is like, you can just see M. Night just typing it. And he's just like, that's good.
That's so clever.
Yeah, and should we talk about his other movies before we talk about Old?
Yeah. Let's give people a rundown. The M. Night Shyamalan, for those who might not know about him.
Why this is different in a way. It's
why is it different?
Yeah, I was going to say, why is it different? No, I think maybe it's I don't know. He's just lost the subtlety. What movie was I watching where I was like, I wasn't even watching. He still got it, actually. I watched the show The Servant, which he produced. And the episodes he directed are fucking awesome. Like,
is it the one with the baby?
Yeah.
Baby? It's an Apple TV show?
Yeah, the first season's just okay. The second season's funny, dude. They, I don't know what happened.
Like funny bad or funny good?
Good. I think they had like a turning point where they realized how ridiculous this show was, and all the characters became like a little more aware about the circumstance, and it's just them trying to cover everything up essentially, and it kind of felt like the show Frasier in a weird way. I don't know if you ever watched that, but yeah, it's like an old woman show. I watched that with my mom.
That's what's interesting about M. Night is I feel like his movies are goofy, but he's like afraid to admit that. And I think that once we get to Old, we'll talk a little bit about that. But I have a distinct memory of going to see The Happening in theaters. And I remember I was so excited to see it because my mom was a huge M. Night Shyamalan fan. She would show me Unbreakable, Sixth Sense. She loved those movies. So I remember going to see The Happening in theaters, and there's a scene where they're driving the Jeep, and they're like, oh, fuck, there's a leak in our Jeep. And they're like, we're going to die. And it cuts to a wide shot, and the Jeep just rams into like a tree. And I remember in the audience, there's like a main character just dies, sad moment. I remember right in the audience, some dude just started laughing hysterically.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
But
no.
He definitely has that issue of like ridiculous concepts that he takes so seriously that they become like goofy. Like that whole Happening movie is so goofy. With
was
like,
the last good M. Night's movie Signs?
I think it was Split. I like Split.
Oh, I forgot about Split, but
that was an anomaly.
Wasn't the word going around town that he wrote that when he was writing Unbreakable and Sixth Sense, or Yeah, or Unbreakable and whatever the other one was.
I have no idea. I've heard some gossip on him though.
Well, I thought I heard they said it was an old. Sorry, yeah. Let's see the gossip.
Well, here's the inside gossip. Who knows how real this is? Because there's two sides to every story. I'm gonna spread the gossip. I don't know if I should, but I was talking to somebody that went to school with M. Night in college, and they were talking about how one of their friends pitched an idea in class, which was eerily similar to Sixth Sense, and M. Night was in that class and stole the idea from them.
Oh my goodness!
And if that's true, I would be so pissed. Like because you can't, if you don't have your idea copyrighted, you can't do anything about it.
Was this your own source?
Yeah, it was firsthand.
Holy shit!
I remember hearing it before, like secondhand through people that knew this person. And I finally talked to this person. They gave me the info, but. You never know. You never know what
that's the podcast title. M. Night stole Sixth Sense.
M. Night stole his best movie.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I also like Unbreakable though. I think Unbreakable's fun, and Signs is good too, and Split's good. So
I also like The Village. I'm like
Village is good.
I'm in that small camp, but
it's a little weird.
I was so into it as a period piece. And then once it got like stupid, I was like, "Oh, come on! It could have been such a good period piece."
It did get stupid, and that was his biggest issue. Yeah, I wish the monsters were just let it be monsters, dude.
Yeah.
And was it after that where he did a Lady in the Water, and that was like, what?
No,
the
no
fuck?
one saw that. Yeah. No one wanted to see that. That looks so uninteresting.
I saw it, unfortunately. I don't remember a thing. I think there's like a mermaid in it, and I think M. Night ends up being the hero who kills like a critic in the movie or something.
Old would have been a lot better if there was like a fucking mermaid.
It sure would have, dude.
No.
And then we can't forget to mention Last Airbender.
Oh my! So that's one of my. I've seen it. You're gonna laugh, dude. I've seen it like 6 or 7 times, and because it's such a good movie to fall asleep to. You're just like
that's such a good compliment.
It's just you're baffled. It's just like okay. And
the best scene is when they're like, and then just like a pebble goes by. Just like, yeah, it's like one pebble.
But there just must have been no coordination with the VFX and the stunt choreographer.
Yeah, I think it had a pretty large budget, and I think I remember hearing M. Night saying, "Oh, I never like watched the show. My son likes it, or my kids like it."
Yeah. Basically, there's nothing redeeming about that movie. Like he didn't even
say, as a kid, I did really like and I enjoyed this fight at the end when he summons like the big tidal wave. I was like, "Oh, it's so cool."
I was really scared of that happening as a kid because I thought it could really happen because I went to fucking 6th grade class and my dumbass teacher who said some real. I don't even know if I should say this. All right, this is funny.
Say it.
She came to me one day. She goes. She knew I was Jewish. She goes, "I married a Jew." I'm like, "Why are you telling me this?" She goes. She's just like,
"I'm on your side."
Yeah, basically, she's saying I'm on your side. Like, I'm like, "That's not."
Do you have to announce that? Yeah.
Yeah. She like came up to me. I'm like. I'm 12. I'm like, I don't know what you mean.
Maybe she was flirting with you.
Yeah, maybe she's like, I like them Jewish. And I'm like, what? But, what's it called? And she goes, I love The Happening because it could really happen, you know. I mean, she was a lunatic, I'm pretty sure.
Well, what does that mean? Like, what could really happen? Like, the plants just turn evil? Well,
the whole idea is plants do communicate, like, totally. And I don't know to the extent and how. I'm not that smart, but I know they communicate somehow. And I'm sure they send, like pheromones in the air sometimes to, like, distract, like, insects and do, like, it's mostly on the insect bug kingdom level. And also, I know trees send messages to the roots to help each other get more water. Like, they know how to, like, transfer water somehow.
They do. I've heard they do that. That specifically, I heard they do it through mycelium, so mushroom networks connect roots from other plants and they can send nutrients to each other. It's almost like a high-speed internet. It's pretty fascinating.
Yeah, it's crazy stuff. So my little 12-year-old mind was like, my teacher wouldn't lie to me. She married a Jew. And so, but
that's a perfect way to sum up like a childhood mindset of like, all these adults are telling me the truth. They know what's up.
And I'm like, I totally thought, and I'm like, as like a little kid, I'd look over my shoulder when there was wind. But looking back at it, the deaths are so funny, and like, just not like normal. Like a guy turns on a lawnmower and like just lays in front of it and just like gets lawn mowed, and I'm like, that's not scary. And then
there's a scene where Mark Wahlberg freaks out in the house because the dude has plants and they're like, it's plastic, and he's like, oh, and then he's like talking to the plant.
Like, I'm talking to a plant. You know what? There's one word I do use. What was it? Oh, forgot it. What he said? Superfluous. A totally superfluous bottle of cough syrup. I didn't have a cough. I just wanted to flirt with the pharmacist, basically.
What the hell does that mean, dude?
It means like not even needed. Let's look this up before. I'm pretty sure it just means like completely pointless, not needed. Holy shit! How do I spell this?
I think you just made that word up.
Let's see. All right, superfluous, unnecessary, especially through being more than enough.
Superfluous, yeah.
So yeah, not needed. Yeah, something like that. And literally what the description was.
It does give us the best line read from Mark Wahlberg. The scene with the old lady where she's like, "You're gonna hurt me." And he's like, "No,
what? No,
I'm not gonna hurt you," or whatever he said.
I was in Boogie Nights. Like he just like he might, because I bet M. Night was like, you're a macho man, dude. You're a science teacher, though, in this movie. You're not supposed to be macho. Like, get your falsetto up there, man. Like, really pinch it. What? Yeah, a little higher, actually. Just go. Just keep. Be like the Bee Gees or whatever.
I'm really interested in how he directs. I feel like he's just bullshitting the whole time, but isn't that most directors?
Yeah, you just kind of see what works. But I feel like I don't know what he's even focusing on when he directs. Like some of his camera movements are cool. He shoots things like usually in a fun way. But the way it doesn't seem like he's encountered a person when it comes to directing an actor. It's like they're always like a fish out of water, even though they're not. Like it's not that movie.
That's a really good point of like all his work is kind of like that. But I was thinking back to Sixth Sense. That movie actually like scared me as a kid. There's like the scene where like he's in the tent, like the fort tent, and I remember doing this as a kid.
Throws up.
The chick with like the little girl to throw up comes out.
Yeah,
but what's crazy though is that's actually not his first movie. He made like one or two movies before that, like goofy kid movies, like Mr. Butler and the Dog or some shit like that.
He also broke out as a screenplay writer. He wrote like some kind of huge hit rom-com.
Oh,
in something really popular. Like the name, M. Night Shyamalan. I should have. This is what happens when you don't do any research and you're on a podcast.
You gotta wing it, baby.
Go to writer. He wrote. Maybe I'm thinking of something. Oh, he wrote Stuart Little, first of all.
Oh, yeah, he did write Stuart. Wow.
He wrote Stuart Little.
Wow.
So maybe he was good. Praying with Anger. No, there's something else that I'm missing here that he totally did right.
Well, he directed, Praying with Anger.
Wide Awake. Is that David Spade? Who the fuck is this? No, it's not David Spade.
It's pretty fascinating to see. Like, it's not till his third movie that he made his masterpiece. So, it really shows like there's that no overnight success, even if you're stealing ideas from.
Oh my god, he wrote after. Oh my god, I saw Devil and I also saw After Earth. I don't think he directed Devil though.
I think he just produced it. I remember seeing it and I kind of liked it.
It was cool. It was a fun idea. It was fun.
But it was literally the book and then there was one. If you ever read that book, it was the same concept.
Oh, I never read it. No.
Yeah.
what's it called? Devil, yeah. Yeah, Devil was funny. It was just like, he's like, the piece of toast burnt on the wrong side.
I forgot about that. It's like super, like, wasn't he in the movie? Wasn't he like...
Yeah, I don't think he was a security. This guy was like some guy. He's like, it means
superstitious cop.
Yeah. Oh my god, I wish we could just cut that scene into this podcast right now.
What are you doing? Oh. When he's near, everything goes wrong. Toast falls jelly side down.
But let's transition into what everyone's here to see, dude. Let's talk about Old, and we'll talk about it for a bit, and then we'll talk about maybe what we would have done to hopefully make it a little better.
Yeah, what we could do to help M. Night, our buddy. We went to swim class with him. That's a fact. We're not making that up right now. Mm-hmm. He's good at
swimming.
Backstroke, he's really good at.
Backstroke. Riding.
He's taking a toll. We're trying to. Yeah, I'm not even gonna go on with that.
Tell me your impression of Old. How do you feel about it?
It could have been something awesome. It's just like if M. Night was like if it was a different director, I think it actually could have been pulled off. But I don't know what. So my first impression was, man, I wish it was more of a fun movie. Second impression was, or I didn't see it the second time, but the more I thought about it, the more I was like, actually, I had some good goofs. But I think we were all there for like another happening. Like I think we don't watch an M. Night movie the way we watch another director's movie.
It was you brought up a good point. Surprisingly, like just bland.
Mom, I'm right here.
And took itself way too seriously. It was just like it ended up being like a plot about just like a drama about love, and it should have been like it should have gone into the absurdness more, which was one of my biggest issues.
It didn't take enough advantage of like
its whole idea.
I'm like skipping like way too far ahead, but like a point where there's I'm leaving out some so we could talk about it. But when she stabs one of the characters with a rusty knife, and it immediately corrodes him or whatever it does, I don't know, infects him. There could have been so many more like little details, like some kid just scraped his knee or like hurt their hip and now they have hip problems or some shit, you know? Or like even weirder shit, like someone could have gotten like a grain of sand in their eye and like their eye just blows up or something.
That's exactly the same way I feel. The rules weren't consistent, and the rusty knife's a good example. They slash dude with the rusty knife, then he's like, "Oh, rust," and he just starts dying. It doesn't. What about their fingernails? What about their hair? Why didn't that shit?
Oh grow? Yeah,
it doesn't make any sense to me. It could have done so much more with that. Yeah,
I guess hair is technically dead, right? Isn't it? I don't know. Maybe it's not. Let's look this up. Double check before I'm wrong on the internet. Is hair dead? Tiny blood vessels at the base of every follicle feed the hair to root to keep going, but once the hair is at the skin surface, the cells within the strand of hair aren't alive anymore. So I guess they're considered dead cells. That's weird.
I found this kind of funny. At the Tribeca Film Festival, Shyamalan said that the film's focus on aging reminded him of his father, who has dementia, and his children as he watches them grow up. During the event, Alex Wolff compared the film to the COVID-19 pandemic. Coming out of COVID, it feels like time just stopped, and that's what the movie's literally about. The movie isn't about time stopping. The movie's about fucking time accelerating, dude. What are you talking about?
Yeah, none of these themes felt like they were explored. Like, I didn't even feel once that the parents gave a shit about their children. They just let them fuck and get pregnant.
Kara, what did you do?
We were just playing. It's okay.
I just got a little fat. Mom, you're better.
Okay, we gotta talk about that scene. So the scene where the two kids they're starting to grow up. They go in a tent and they're playing. They're just sitting down, like, let's play, and they're like,
they're making sand castles and like pinching each other.
Literally, the next scene they come out and the chick's pregnant, and it's like, And I think Alex was like, we were just playing, and it was so weird. It was so like awkward and goofy to watch, and like, I don't know, if you're a kid, I think you'd know if you just had sex with somebody. That's more than playing. Like, come on, dude.
So like, they were kind of acting like at that point Alex Wolff still had like the mentality of like an 8-year-old or whatever.
Yeah.
But when he's like 40 later on in the movie, he has the mind of a 40-year-old. It's not like, so he should be. Same thing with that little girl. She's just like, oh, I'm just gonna climb this fucking wall, and that scene was pretty funny.
That made no sense. Yeah.
But
here's another. Okay, this is gonna blow your mind.
Yeah, hit me.
There's a character in the film. I was so confused reading the synopsis again to remind myself. They kept saying this dude's name, and I was so confused. There's a character in the film called Midsize Sedan.
Yeah, the rapper, right?
So it goes, Trent discovers the dead body of Midsize Sedan's companion. Charles grows suspicious of Midsize Sedan. I'm like, what are they fucking talking about, dude?
What? Imagine was that supposed to be M. Night saying, all these rapper names are so silly, really. Like, they name themselves anything. Little Xan, Midsize Sedan.
That's a really good point. I think that's what he does. Maybe he's, like, trying to be funny with that type of shit, but it's, like, tonally it's so weird.
I was around before everybody was woke, so this was like, they were still asleep. They were still asleep when I was around. It was like, oh yeah, but now I'm like grandfathered into the pre-woke era. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm Indian. You guys know that? I'm Indian.
So I guess we can quickly give the plot away. It's two adults with their kids. Are they both their kids? One of the kids is someone else's kid, right? It's the schizophrenic dude and their wife.
You mean dementia guy? Yeah.
Yeah, with their wife that has the bone issue.
Yeah, bonitis.
So they go to this resort someplace, and they're struggling with their marriage, and they're like, hey, come to this private beach tomorrow. And I think it's M. Night who takes them there.
Yeah.
To the private beach. They go to this private beach. They walk through this weird ass stone, which is kind of cool.
Well, first they have to go through the resort, right? Did you bring that up, or was that just like super?
Yeah, that was in the beginning. They're at the resort.
Yeah. Sorry, my bad.
They go to this beach, and then while they're there, they notice like someone died. And they start freaking out, and then they realize they can't leave because every time they go through that weird coral rock, they start freaking out and they like pass out and they wake up back on the beach or something.
Also at the resort, we saw someone have an epileptic episode, which shows that people are somewhat ill here. It's like that's the setup.
They like invite ill people.
Yeah.
So they're on this beach. It accelerates aging. A bunch of crazy shit happens. 2 kids get pregnant. We gotta bring up the chick with the bones. You remember that scene?
Yeah, she's like, what does she say when she gets like a drink? She's like, I can't have this if it has like something in it, or like I'm allergic to something,
citrus or some shit. Yeah. That scene made me laugh out loud. Which I guess it's supposed to be scary. Her bones, she has brittle bones. She's breaking her bones as she's coming in. Yeah, through a cave as she's coming at the kids, and then it like fucking heals with her arms all fucked up.
She gets permanent. See, that was perfect. That was perfect scene. Like
that was a perfect scene. If the whole movie was that, I would be a lot more entertaining.
Yeah, like they needed more fucking characters. I hate to say it. They kept killing characters way too soon, dude. None of them got to actually go through their illness. Like they just kept dying.
Maybe they should have maybe I should say this so later, but they should have like had a boat of people come up, or like a whole new group comes or something.
Yeah, just like on the distance of people, just like going to that beach.
And then there's a doctor who like goes swimming in the ocean. He just shows up dead later for some reason.
No, he's like a nurse, I'm pretty sure.
A nurse. Yeah, he's the one that saves the epilepsy chick. Actually, I think it's his wife.
It's his wife.
Then it pretty much happens. They get older. The family's left, and they grow old, and they're like, "Hey, I still love you." Or whatever.
And the mom's got like she's going deaf, and the dad's going blind. What?
So doesn't the guy? So Alex Wolff gets that chick pregnant, the schizo and the brittle bones daughter pregnant. Doesn't she climb the rock and die?
She just dies. Yeah, she just falls off.
Then who? So then he swims away with the sister. Is that what it is?
Yeah, they wait like what looked like a day, but it was like years, and like they buried their parents who look like the same exact age. Like they didn't bother getting like
with
any
like
older.
A couple wrinkles. They're like, we're 80 now.
Yeah, it's like,
I think it was like every 30 minutes is a year. They figured out somehow.
Yeah,
and there's that awesome scene that M. Night's watching them. Alex Wolff and his sister go swimming, and they're swimming underwater, and he's like,
"They're dead.
They've been underwater for a minute and a half. They're totally dead." And it's
he packs up, and then like it cuts to a hand of like an adult like giving like a journal of a kid to that cop. He goes, "You're a cop, right?" And he's like, "Yeah."
This is irrefutable proof that we're old.
We're old people now. And he's like,
and the big reveal is that the whole reason they put people there is there's a whole group of researchers who are trying to help people by killing people and researching medicine.
Yeah, that's personally my favorite part of the movie, which a lot of people didn't like.
It's the most interesting, but it just came out of left field. Didn't make any sense. It just wasn't earned, I felt.
It wasn't earned, and I feel like if it happened early in the film and we spent more time there, like it would be so fun. Like it would be great.
So with that being said, dude, let's fucking rewrite this bad boy. So I want to hear your ideas. I want to get some opinions on it.
Yeah, I would like to see more of the like to give up the mystery halfway through and be more with the science people, and like maybe even take them off the island and then like see how the effects work on them. Like I know this, like, I don't know if I'm just making a boring movie, but it sounds fun to me.
I agree. So what about this? Yeah, it's not even that big of a twist. Reveal the research fucking first 10 minutes. Then what about halfway through the movie, everyone's dead. We'll just shrink all that shit that happened, make it more interesting. People die super quick on the island.
And keep adding more people.
Maybe some more people show up or something. I think that's an interesting angle. So let's say halfway through the movie, 2/3 of the way through the movie, they make it out. And then they think they're about to get out. Boom! M. Night Shyamalan knocks them out. They wake up in the research facility. Then we can go in the research facility and like explain that more. Because we literally got one scene with them and they're just like,
but I don't think we even need the main characters in the research facility to explore it. We could kind of just, or I guess we could do it that way. But I feel like it could be like a side plot. Like,
well, they could almost be like, that could be a little interesting because like they're trying to be good. So they could capture these dudes, put them in like 2 like glass cube cages in the research facility. And they're like, what do? We got to kill them. And maybe M. Night, give him his moment. He's like, fuck, you know what? I like these kids. They complimented me earlier in the movie. They said I had good hair or something. So we could play with that. You know what we need? This might be getting a little too cabin in the woods. We need them to like release, like I'm sure the research facility,
the virus.
I'm sure the research facility is like working on this old shit somehow, and they somehow release it so it's like out of their cube.
Everyone's growing old instantly.
They're just like, oh, their faces are like melting. That'd be incredible, dude.
Well, think about what if they release it on the resort. And like everyone in the resort that's happening to everyone in the resort.
That's pretty morbid, but I kind of like it.
Yeah, even like even like puppies, which sucks, dude. Like, sorry, dude.
So what do you think is what's the best route with this movie? Is it add more locations, get them off the beach earlier, or is it introduce more people?
I'd say we could. Yeah. I mean, then we don't have main characters, but I was like, kill them off, add like more like waves of fucking people where you get to see their shit happening. Or it could be multiple beaches where we can, that's also Cabin in the Woodsy. But
that's a great idea. Like they look across and there's like another beach of people.
Dude, does Cabin in the Woods just have this like covered in all angles? Like now that I'm thinking about it.
They honestly might. Cabin in the Wood is near perfect horror movie.
It kind of fucked everything up.
Oh, it's so good, dude.
Fucking Joss
They
Whedon
even explain like the scene with Chris Hemsworth. They're like, let's stick together, and then like shoot the gas, and he's like, let's separate.
Let's actually, I think we should split up.
Yeah,
and then he's like, actually, I want to have sex with my girlfriend, and then he just dies.
Yeah.
But that was perfect because he was the only A-lister in that movie, and he wasn't like even the A-lister.
He died. He had that epic. He's like, I'm gonna go jump it, and he tries to jump. The thing, and he hits the fucking force field
dome. Yeah. Oh, was that how he died? Oh, I guess his girlfriend dies first, and then he dies second.
You know what they needed? They needed a scene where like there's like fishermen way in the distance, like he's like boating by, and they're like, hey. The fisherman's like, oh fuck, and he turns around, he starts coming towards them, and as he's coming towards him, like maybe he dies or the vehicle just gets fucked up too.
I'm saying like as he gets closer, like he just keeps aging, and by the time he gets there, he's already dead. And like the boat.
He's like a skeleton by the time he gets there.
Just like bones just crumble.
They also need. I think they need to introduce it a little earlier with visual shit. They kind of do with like one of the ladies dying, and they find like old toys. I think there, but they should have had like fish and stuff washing up on shore that were just like fucking dead. And like,
I was gonna say with your fisherman idea, they could be picking up weird and strange fish. Like that, like have for some reason, even like evolution for like fish has been like accelerated or something, and like it has like weird effects on the environments, something like that.
Yeah, maybe like we found the cure to cancer. We found this jellyfish that can live 1,000 years.
Speaking of that, why isn't the plant the foliage and all that stuff like growing like insane? Because shouldn't everything be becoming older, like every cell?
Well, if I understand correctly, there's not much foliage on the
beach.
There?
Oh, for some reason I remember like trees, but you're right, they're covered by like those giant rocks.
Yeah, I mean, they don't explain much.
Yeah, which is probably a good thing for them.
It's probably a good thing.
Save their
I
bones.
expected more out of the plot when they're trying to leave that through that weird cave
coral cave,
that leads them out, and they like have a headache and they pass out. I was expecting more from that. I was expecting them to do it a couple times.
Yeah, they just kind of wung it and did it.
They don't explain anything, like why the coral does that, and like
and why it's even there if it's an escape route. Like why is it like?
You brought up a good point. Why is it there? Like, did we zoom out and it's like a fucking alien UFO landed there or something? Like, you need something.
Like, I'm actually more interested in like why is this beach actually making people old versus it doesn't make sense. Is the company just taking advantage of a beach that makes people old, or did they create the beach that makes people old? Because
I guess they're taking advantage of it, and they're just like, oh, the rocks fucking
like
make us
Bermuda
old.
Triangle, just like
they needed more shit like that, like fucking Amelia Earhart's airplane is crashed nearby,
like it just disintegrates. Yeah,
they need some shit like that. Yeah. Fuck M. Night. What do we do with this, dude? I almost feel like. Yeah, fuck. What did we do with this? Maybe they should have like set up some characters that we meet earlier at the resort that leave a day before them, and then when they get there, they find like the family of them like all fucking dead and old in the cave.
Or like they get to the resort and they're like, why is everyone so fucking old? Like, they just release the people that lived into the resort.
That's a funny idea. Like there's like they meet some hot young lady and then she comes back. She's like,
oh god, don't go on the boat ride.
And then the kids are like, I think that's the lady from earlier. And the mom's like, don't point. It's not
Wild
nice.
imagination, honey. Yeah. Don't point at the crippled. No, I'm joking, lady. But
gosh, what? Yeah. Well, I guess let's think about the strengths. What can you do with this concept? So we got people that accelerate. So you got a beach that accelerates age somehow.
Honestly, I'd like to see. I know it's like the meme, but more body horror. Like fuck it. That's why I think the only way to do it is I think he really fucked up killing like 3 characters before they even had the old effects happen. Like they should have kept Mid-Size Sedan. They should have.
Yeah, he just got stabbed or something by the schizophrenic guy.
They should have kept some people on the beach before remember they set up that girl who's drowned because she probably knew about the coral. Like that was the whole idea with that.
Yeah.
So I guess
this is what they need. I think you made me think of some shit. They need a scene where the nurse guy has to operate on somebody and like open their stomach up, and he has to like reach in.
Closing.
He has to reach in to like grab something and just fucking like closes on his hand. He's like, oh.
Doesn't that happen with don't they do a C-section or no? Is that just in my? Oh no, they took a woman's liver out. The main mommy.
Don't they? Yeah, they keep trying to cut her and it keeps opening or something.
Yeah, but I would have liked that because it's like the opposite of like or kind of similar to the Thing effect where he's doing defibrillators.
That shit's scary. Yeah, they kind of do it with the broken bone lady, but it was just goofy. She literally is just like walking. I don't even remember. How my memory has it, she's like walking through a cave and just starts breaking her arms on nothing.
No. What happened? What happened is she's picking up a giant rock.
Oh, and she fucking drops it.
Her arm's crippled, and she drops it on her head, and it was perfect.
That part was perfect. We needed more of that shit.
That's why it needs. They should have put like fucking 15 people on this fucking island, like. How many people are usually in like I guess it's usually
here's what we
6
need.
People.
15 people. They should have added a surfer dude.
Dude.
Job, bro. Surfs on the waves.
He's like, yo, we're all getting older. My soul feels different.
You know what else they needed too? They needed to raise the stakes by the surfer dude like goes deep out. He's like, I'm getting out of here. And then right when he's out, there's a fucking like M. Night snipes him. That's what they needed. Or like a US drone goes by like blows this dude up.
That's interesting. Well, no, scuba divers do just grab his legs and drown him. Oh, that's terrifying.
Yeah, they're just like there with like harpoons.
Yeah. Oh my god. They're just that's a fucking cool scene.
That is a cool scene because it adds to like the world building. Yeah, because again, the most interesting part was these researchers,
and it sets up the organization. So
perfect.
You're welcome, M. Night.
You can write draft 2 now.
Draft 2. Old 2. Let's see it.
Old
2. More old.
We try it again. Older.
What's it called?
I was half expecting. So M. Night, I remember they had that weird scene that M. Night's watching him just so he can have a cameo of himself. And I was half expecting him to either like have a change of heart and save them or like fall down and like also get fucked up. Because he
gets old. That's a good idea for the rewrite, dude. He gets old now.
He gets old. And what if there's a beach that makes you young?
Everyone's just like babies.
Turn to like fetuses or whatever.
They just become like cells. It's so painful.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's his next movie.
Yeah. Oh my god. Let's see what his next movie is. It's called Knock at the Cabin. Oh, and there's another one in post-production. The Vanishing at Kato Lake. He's just a producer on this. He didn't write it. Sorry, let me go to directing.
So there's Knock at the Cabin and Labor of Love, but it looks like Knock at the Cabin is his next.
Yeah, who in it? Who's in it?
Who's in it?
Oh, Rupert Grint. I love him.
Dave Bautista.
Dave Bautista. Oh, this looks good, dude.
Just off 2 actors. I wouldn't go that far.
This looks like a good movie. What's the plot? I like Rupert Grint is great in The Servant.
Is that Ron Weasley?
Yeah, he's actually turned into a good
Here's
actor.
the thing, dude. I'm rooting for M. Night. Like, I really want him to make good, fun movies again.
I will be honest. He does have a very original voice, even though his movies aren't as lately the same caliber. You're still getting no one can give you an M. Night experience.
No one can give you an M. Night experience. He does fall into the trap of every movie has to have a twist. And like his big twist, Sixth Sense moment of this movie was the kids coming back to the cop. They're like, hey, remember me? I'm going to say the same words I said yesterday. Here's this book. And the cop's like, oh. He has to do that.
What if he was like, yeah, I'm on vacation. I'm so hammered. Can you just fuck off right now?
Yeah, that would have been a good end. Who the fuck are you?
Yeah, like, get out of here, you fucking kid.
Oh, you were a kid? Okay.
Yeah, get out of here. Yeah.
So let's dive into this research facility. What can we do with that? Because you literally get one scene. It was such a missed opportunity, I feel. I almost feel like
they can have rooms where they have like old rooms where like they're like just glass and like they're just people like in like chairs and shit or just like walking around.
Like the old lady from SpongeBob was like, chocolate.
Just give me. They just.
That's a great idea. And they should be like, oh, that's Jim. He's our 18-year-old intern that we just hired last week.
Yeah, we just threw him. He's like, I'm 90 now.
And needed that a bit more lighthearted comedy because that makes so much sense. If you have this, this is what they needed, dude. They're on the beach. They're like dying. They need a bunch of hazmat dudes to come out of it and like try to take samples. And like some of them get fucked up and they're like, oh, and they like die. They needed that type of shit because if there's a research facility there, they're definitely gonna be taking samples and like fucking with
like
this.
Days Without Accident like was 2 and it goes down to like 0.
What would the application be? So maybe they're like trying to make supplements that make you old. Would the application be like, we can turn you 21 in one day so you can drink alcohol?
Yeah, they're really just, their whole point was to see if the medicine they make will kill you or will cure you.
Which was, I felt so, like when I saw that, it just felt so weak and unearned.
Yeah.
That they're like, oh, well, we're trying to make medicine?
And they're like, the drinks they actually had at lunch was actually medicine.
It's actually cough syrup, man.
Like they're like, I ordered like a Coke. This is just not that.
And everyone died horrifically.
Yeah,
the brittle bones lady, she was fucked. The schizophrenic dude was fucked. Like,
everyone freaked out. Like no one was ready for it. Like I was no, that's off topic. Let's take it but
you know what it should have been? It should have been they're trying to cure aging. That literally plays into the plot so much. So this company's trying to cure aging. It's a topical thing. People are doing it right now. They're giving them some vitamins or some minerals or some shit that they think would cure their aging. And maybe it works on one of the characters. Imagine this. One of the characters is not aging at all. They're just that would be pretty crazy.
Or that like to go the like military route. They're trying to do like some kind of chemical warfare thing.
Oh, we could age a whole population and fuck up their workforce.
Their army's gonna die in like a day or something like that.
That's pretty interesting.
We can't we're gonna sell this aging to the government. The government doesn't even know about this shit, you know.
So they're like, "Hey, we found the antidote. We gave it to Alex Wolff. He doesn't age. Maybe he stays maybe he caps out at 21 or some shit. He survives. He's in the facility. He's in the research facility. We're in the second half of the movie. They're like, all right, we finally made this chemical weapon. We can douse all of China and make their workforce age in a day, and they'll be crippled.
You know,
and Alex Wolff finds a way to like blow it up in there, and they all get old.
Well, you know what? Well, so you know what could have been the good twist where they're going through their own old experiment. The people in the research facility. There's another facility.
Dude, that would be some crazy M. Night shit. Yeah.
It just gets like that's how you. I think that's how you resurrect his twist.
Or here we go. Let's zoom out even more. The research facility's like, wait a second. This material's found all over Earth. You zoom out. You keep going out. There's this like weird like floaty thing in the air. The shield goes around it. It's a spaceship, and it's these aliens like blah blah blah. And they're like, humans aren't supposed to age, but we put this material all over Earth, so they each age every 365 days. They age. They're supposed to be immortal.
Age isn't. You're all pieces of shit. So we think you should age.
Now that's a twist, dude. If you wanted a twist,
like that. Yeah, and like
Alex Wolff has to go. He gets abducted. He has to go up there and give the aliens a taste of their own medicine, dude.
And then the sequel is directed by Roland Emmerich, and M. Night Shyamalan writes it.
I don't want to see that
Stuart
movie.
Little. It sounds terrible.
So I think we agree the part we liked the most was the science stuff. And it would be interesting to just the beach stuff just got old, no pun intended, after
that's a
the
fun
fucking like 45 minutes in. So why not condense that shit and just add more science stuff? And I really like what you said where it's like maybe it affects the resort with the cop there. That's so much more interesting if they're like, oh, the fucking old sand got all in our fucking
the old
facility.
sand. It's all in their shoes.
Oh, yeah, the kid brought old sand back.
One of like the fucking like horror shots is a guy going like this and sand's coming out.
What is this?
It's a slow-mo zoom
He
in.
catches it in his hand and his hand starts like getting all wrinkly.
Yeah, he's like that's weird. And he just like wipes it off.
That's so much more fun. Imagine like a shot like he goes, he like the wind grabs the sand and you just like follow the sand as everyone's like breathing it in.
It kind of reminds me of like the Ruins, where like that kind of effect where they like it's kind of the same idea, not at all, but it's like tourists come to this fucking thing that's like has effects to them.
That's the Mayan film, right?
Yeah, the Mayan. They touch
body
the vines.
Yeah, the vine stuff. Yeah.
Dude, I like that movie a lot. It's fun.
I've only seen parts of it, but yeah, continue in that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's the whole plot is they don't know why they're being forced up there, and I guess if you don't know why, if you went into this movie, you would have no idea until it actually is a pretty fucking metal scene of a woman comes down after she goes, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Why are you forcing us? And she throws a plant and it hits a kid. And they point guns at the kid now. They're like, get up there. And the kid's like, oh, I don't want to. They fucking shoot the fucking kid. And it just makes, they're like, it's one of those like, it was a really sobering moment. If you like, it's just like, much better than old, but it's like
not a high bar.
Yeah, not a high bar. And in the body horror, it goes so in depth with like you probably saw the scene if you saw a scene where she's ripping the vines out of her.
Ooh,
oh, you didn't see that? Yeah,
I might have seen a couple scenes. Yeah.
Oh, because they all get cut in some way or another throughout their struggle, and the vines are literally going into their veins and like into their body. And she has like a scene where she's like, I could get it out of me, and she's just like going crazy. And I'm like,
that's horrifying.
It's
actually horrifying.
Yeah, because you would, I think everyone would be doing that. Like you would be like, I think I could get it all out. I
love that idea, and that's even a better twist if like the kid comes back, he gets to the resort, and like they all point the guns, and they're like, "You should be here," and he just brings his shoe up, and he's like, "Shh." You're like, "Oh,"
it's just like, dude. Everyone's like, "No, I'm old.
I can't see glaucoma."
Yeah. Oh god,
my back. Yeah.
Oh
that's hilarious, dude.
Dude, this could have been M. Night's best movie if he just made it the resort, like, after.
Yeah, he definitely just needs... I think he needs to, like... He's afraid to jump too... His movies are already absurd, but he's afraid to go
to the limit,
completely deep into the absurd. And that's the thing too. Like, I mean, I'm getting a little too deep in the explanation, but wouldn't the water like take the weird sand away and make like other parts of the ocean old? Like,
oh yeah, circulate that sand. Is that salt water old? Like when that salt water, like like. Is it just like, is this because it's just like an old beach? Like, is it like the oldest beach?
Yeah, I guess again, it has something to do with that rock.
I'm more in that mindset now of like, hey, this is whatever, The Visit. This is a mixture of comedy and horror. That's it. Don't shy away from it. Double down on it. That's what's different about it. Go for it. That's more my instinct now. The thing that I find interesting and unusual, just double down on that and we'll roll the dice.
Any other parting words on Old? Anything we miss that would work well with it?
They should have had a dog. I know it's like a cliche to have a dog in a horror movie, but they could have brought a dog or an animal.
Should have had a dog. Should have had a bird like fly in.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. Some kind of animal to die like rapidly in front of them.
That's why I like the idea of like they're like, Mom, it's a dolphin, and then it like fucking dies and comes on shore or something.
Yeah, you just see the dorsal fin just turn into bone. Like
that's cool, and that's like an omen for what's to come. Like that's like, I'm guessing, did he write this by himself?
I hope not. No, I'm joking. Let's see.
Well, he did base it off of, he based off of a graphic novel. So.
I guess it's an adaptation.
But he did write it by himself.
Yeah. Oh my God, the little kids were so awful in this fucking movie. And we could get mortgages and be accountants, then we could be dentists. Like, shut the fuck up.
Also, the name of our main character, his name is Guy.
Yeah.
Guy in mid-sized sedan. Good job.
Trent, Crystal. Yeah, the names aren't that great.
You're so right though. The aging didn't look that
ugly.
good. Like they're like, we age 50 years, and they just look the same with like gray hair.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. No, it made no sense.
Yeah, we definitely. So I guess like the consensus is we definitely need more of the research facility, and I think the bad guys should have got what was coming towards them, which is they should have died horrifically somewhere.
Yeah, they should have
instead
gotten
of just
old,
the cops like, you're under arrest for making people old. I think we kind of hit the. I think we got enough out of that fucking piece of dog shit.
I think it's an old story by now. Old news.
Boy, it made me old fucking talking about it.
Yeah, I grew some old hair. I don't know. But yeah.
But
yeah, congrats, M. Night.
Congrats, M. Night. I had fun on this episode, dude.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It's a good one.
Yeah, thank you for having me.